Hi everybody, welcome back. It's Rose Bouquet. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get started today. So I've been racking my brain over this Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito case like everybody else. And I came down with a little timeline, which I think it's important because I'm confused about a couple of things. And I just want to get my opinion out there. Please leave comments below what you think. I like to get feedback on this one because it's just so confusing. And I have a few scenarios that I think that I came up with of where he is and what may have happened. Okay, so somebody is saying they saw him at Bullwinkle's. So that's the first, and by the way, I'm starting these dates on like right around her death. I'm not going to go all the way up until now because we know when he came home and, when he came missing. Everybody knows those dates, so I'm not going over that. I just kind of want to get a timeline of when he was in the Grand Tetons because I just think his behavior there just kind of really freaked me out. So I'm going to start, there's a guy that says they saw him at the Bullwinkle Saloon, which is 120 miles away from where he was staying on August 26th at a bar, and that he interrupted a couple of people and was making fun of them because they were Republicans. And that I don't really believe, okay? Because they were seen together on the 27th. They were together. So I don't know if I totally believe this August 26th, the man that said he saw him at a bar at Bullwinkle Saloon in West Yellowstone, and again, 120 miles away at night on the 26th. Again, I'm not sure if I completely believe that one, so that I'm going to scratch out because it doesn't matter anyways, because they were seen the next day. So the 27th, they're saying that they went to the Mary Piglets in Jackson, Wyoming, and they were there about 1 to 2 o'clock, and they were arguing. Then, that's the last time she was seen alive. So that's what I'm getting to. So that was the last time she was seen alive, is August 27th between 1 to 2 p.m. Then on August 27th at 6 p.m., the vloggers drive by. The ones that have the video of somebody opening the back door of the van or shutting it as they're driving up. So that was the same day at 6 p.m. And so he was very angry that day. He was fighting with the waitresses and things like that. The next time he was seen, or either one of them was seen, as far as I can find out from the information given, is August 29th at 5:30 p.m. by Miranda Baker. Now, why people pick up hitchhikers is beyond me. I don't understand that. I think that's really weird. But anyways, that happened, and, she said he was, really sketchy and wanted to jump out of the car. And then also, finally, Norma Jean Javolek was the last person that saw him, reportedly. I don't know if he saw gas and went to gas stations. I'm sure other people saw him on his way home. But that's the last time he was seen in the Grand Tetons, and that was at 6:30 to 6:40 Mountain Time. And she said he freaked out and wanted to jump out of the car when she asked about his fiance, and she dropped him off near Spread Creek. So I am confused as to why he was hitchhiking. So I'm thinking that obviously it had to be after August 27th. The only thing we know is it's after she was killed, most likely, after August 27th from 1 to 2 p.m. when they left that restaurant. So any time from August 27th from 1 to 2 p.m., the last time she was seen, until August 29th when he was hitchhiking. My question is, why was he hitchhiking? So I'm thinking and might be a little bit graphic, but I'm going to have to say it. What if the dead body was in the vehicle? He did not want to drive it around. That would be the only reason I would think you would be hitchhiking, because he said he was hiking by himself while she worked at social media by the van. That's what he told Norma Jean Javolik on the 29th at 6:30 when she picked him up, and they had that conversation. So, and I don't know why she picked him up either. So two people picked up a hitchhiker. That's very interesting. But at any rate, I don't get the hitchhiking. So maybe somebody can, clue me in on why he may have done that. Again, maybe the body was still in the vehicle at that time is the only reason I could think of somebody doing that. Because why would he be hitchhiking if she was dead? So he must not have taken the body out of the vehicle at that point. Now, I think that she was probably, if I had to really guess the time of death, it's really hard to say because they saw that van and there's no telling who was actually in that van on the 27th at 6 p.m. when that car drove by. But I would say probably, obviously anywhere from the 27th from 2 o'clock when they left until, somewhere on the 28th. So the 27th, the evening of the during the day during the 27th or the 28th is when I believe it's down to those 2 dates. But again, the hitchhiking kind of weirds me out. I don't understand that logic and why he did that. So that's something for detectives to figure out why he may have done that. Again, the dead body may have been in the vehicle and he did not want to drive around with it. So that's my only guess, because he may have not taken the body out of the vehicle until later. Even though those people drove by and saw him, he may have been trying to figure out what to do and really freaking out, which is what he seemed to have been doing when he was taking those hitchhiking rides. So anyway, he's most likely a narcissist. The fighting and the irritation and everything, and the fact that he went and got another phone when he got home, I don't necessarily think he was trying to hide where he was versus what he was texting. So my guess is there another woman? Is there another woman? Because narcissists, when they meet another woman that they're interested in and they're dating someone, they get very dismissive. They want to discard. So anybody that's dealt with narcissists, and if you haven't, then just, you won't understand this, but they get very angry at their current partner and they do everything they can to block them or get away from them. It's just like Chris Watts. Remember Chris Watts, when he met the girl, the other woman, it's like his family did not matter anymore, right? It was because their mind is, it's always the grass is greener. They have to be going after something else, something fresh, shiny, and new. That's how they think. That's just how narcissists are, and psychopaths and people of that nature. So for him to kill her makes me think that I don't think it was just because he had been frustrated and fighting with her the whole trip or for weeks. So is there another woman? Because he was seen with an older woman getting a cell phone. So until we get those records of who was actually with him at the AT&T store buying a phone, we won't really know until any records are released. The detectives are doing work. We don't really know what's going on. They might already have this information, but that's one of my theories, is that he was trying to see another woman. Because look, he got 2 women picked him up hitchhiking, 2 women in one day within an hour. He hitched a ride. I don't know if the second one had anyone with him even. I think she may have been alone with him. So, if he can do that, then he could obviously be dating another woman on the side and just wanting to get rid of Gabby somehow. And also the fact that he flied home and was gone for a few days or a week or something what was that really about? So there's just a lot that that I don't think we know yet, which is very frustrating. But again, as far as I know, narcissists always, they want to get rid of what they have whoever they're seeing at the time, it doesn't matter. They're always looking for that fresh new relationship or something, um, to take off. They're always looking for someone new, or they always have new people. So if he's a true narcissist, he would have other women that he was talking to. So that would be something interesting to look into. My other theory, just the anger itself and why it occurred is what I'm saying. Because what were they really fighting about? We need to know that as well. Like, what were these fights regarding? I just wish we had some kind of video surveillance of the restaurant, and maybe they've already given it to the police and they're all looking into it. But until we can get a little bit more information, it's hard to really know what they were actually fighting about, because you're on a trip and you love the outdoors and you're out and seeing all these beautiful places. Why are you angry? Why are you mad? It just doesn't make sense. You're having the time of your life. You're with your beautiful girlfriend. Why are you fighting? It just doesn't click with me. Now, narcissists do start fights all the time, no matter what. So, I don't know. My guess is either, he may have been talking to another woman, because, again, why are you killing your fiance? My next theory is that he may be at his grandparents' house. I mean, granted, all of this is going on, but keep in mind, he only has a warrant for a debit card fraud. So, and they don't even know if it's true. I mean, even though Gabby is deceased, he had her PIN code. And yes, it's classless and really kind of bizarre that you'd use somebody's debit card after they were deceased, but so far that's all they have on him. So for him to be at his grandparents' house or a family's house or family member, and again, we need to know who the older woman was at the AT&T. Before we know any of this, it's all just speculation. So, I mean, we can scratch, our brains in our head and try to figure this out, but without all the information, it's just the puzzle pieces just, they don't fit together until we know, what it is his cell phone messages look like, and who was he with at that AT&T store. So anyways, he could be hiding in plain sight at his grandparents' house. He could just be in a spare room there, because again, he's only wanted for debit card fraud, and he can get bailed out for that. Okay, he doesn't have to talk at all. And if they take him in for debit card fraud, the bail on that is not going to be a lot, you guys. So, all of this, like, I don't even, until you have a case, I mean, you do need to find him if he's still alive, which I'm guessing he is. I don't have a feeling that he would have offed himself, because they had absolutely no clues that he was in the Carlton Reserve. There was I don't think they reported like a fire that had been lit or trash left anywhere, or trash left in a trash can. I mean, if you're somewhere, he needs water, food, he has to go to the bathroom. I mean, all of these things, and there's no trace of him anywhere. So I just think that's extremely odd that in the Carlton Reserve, they had absolutely no traces of him. Okay? So I don't know if he ever even went there. And it may have been a setup, because he may have known, because he's going to all these places, that there were no cameras there. And that may have been a place where he had said his grandparents, or somebody come get him. I don't think he's outside, because he hasn't been seen anywhere. He hasn't gotten food, water, anything. So somebody's feeding him, somebody's giving him water and something to drink, because he would have been seen. Everybody's looking for him. If he went into a store somewhere, I mean, yeah, you can wear a mask and sunglasses, but, there's only so much you can hide. And he's very sketchy. So, I mean, unless he's ordering off Amazon and having it delivered, which is very possible. That's another thing is, does his parents have a second home or a vacation home? How deep are these detectives going? Because, again, he only has a warrant for debit card fraud, which even if they caught him right now, today, even if they took him in, he doesn't have to talk again. He doesn't have to say a word. And then what? Are they going to, they're going to arrest him, and then he's just going to get bailed out by a bail bondsman. So you're at square one again. I mean, the prosecution, they have a huge case to build. They have to really go through all of this with a fine-tooth comb and find everything they can. Because finding him is one thing. Proving a crime is much harder where there's no cameras. So that's why the timeline was so important in his behavior. So anyways, he also, keep in mind, he and Gabby went on these trips to way out locations, out of nowhere. I'm sure this isn't the first time he's been out, in unknown locations. If he's not just hiding in his grandparents' house or a friend's house or maybe another woman's house, he may know a location that is just way off the beaten path somewhere. He may know somewhere that is just way out in the middle of nowhere, that there's a creek nearby where he can get water, maybe. There's just no telling what's going on, But the fact that he hasn't shown his face anywhere in the last week or two, I mean, think about the food and the water. You can't survive without water. And you can't drink it from a lake. You'll get really sick without having something to take out the parasites and what have you. So that's where I'm at so far. I know it's just a mess and we just don't have any information. Of course, the FBI is not going to give any information on an investigation that they're conducting, and also they have to give it to prosecution if this ever does go to trial. Because, guys, if they don't find enough evidence, you can't use circumstantial but so much. And remember, when you go to court, you have to know beyond a reasonable doubt that person committed the crime. That's the law. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, bye.